Hello guys, it's James here and welcome back here for another video. I know it's been a while, about a month or so since I last did a video, but we are back today with a video. If you've been wondering why I've not been doing so many videos recently, as I said, I've just started back at college. I do work on a Sunday and stuff like that. And there's just not been many videos I've needed to make, but I have been doing videos on my second channel, my James FC channel. So yeah, I've been doing some FIFA 18 videos in there, so go check that out if you want to see some more of my content. Today we're going to be reviewing Manchester United's month for September. Manchester United actually won a total 6 of their matches in September. No, sorry, won 6 of their 7 matches in September, drawing the other one, meaning Manchester United are still unbeaten in both months so far. So it's been an absolutely phenomenal start to Manchester United season. We started September with a 2-2 draw to Stoke, and this was the worst result of the September month because it's the only game United didn't go on to win. So as I said, a draw away at Stoke is our worst game of the month. That says how good Manchester United's month was. Manchester United were left a little bit frustrated in this one. We did go 2-1 up. You would expect Manchester United when they get into that position, but we would see it out. Unfortunately, within about 4 or 5 minutes, Choupo-Moting had got his second goal and Stoke ended up drawing that game 2-2. It's a bit of a frustrating result, but at the end of the day, you're not going to win every game of the year. And at the end of the day, it was still not a bad point away from home because some people do brand Stoke as a difficult game to go. For some reason, Manchester United always struggled down there, so I suppose it weren't a bad result. Moving on, we then started our Champions League campaign back in the Europe's elite competition with a 3-0 victory against Basel. The Swiss side were, torn apart at Old Trafford, but it's a very controlled performance from Manchester United. We got the early goal, we got the second goal early in the second half, and then we finished it off with a third late on in the game, and that goal difference could really come back to help us. Then we hit what would be a very good end to the week with a 4-0 victory against Everton. Now Everton, if you watch my predictions, I put them in 7th, and I think most people thought they could even crack into the top 6, maybe even the top 4, because they made some great signings. However, they've not had a great start to the season. Manchester United showed that by smashing them 4-0 at Old Trafford, and it was a really good performance of Manchester United in the final 10 minutes of the game. But throughout the game, it wasn't actually that good for Manchester United. United took the lead within like 2 or 3 minutes, almost thunder strike from Antonio Valencia. It was an unbelievable goal. It was an unbelievable strike from Antonio Valencia to put Manchester United 1 goal ahead. And then from that point onwards, it was a game where, Everton, did make it nervy for Manchester United. It wasn't easy for Manchester United. Everton had a go, and Manchester United looked like we were going to struggle. And, I actually tweeted during the second half that I think Everton will score and it's going to be a 1-1 draw and we're going to be left frustrated because we've not finished them off. However, this time, we did finish them off and we scored 3 goals in the last 10 minutes of the game, and it was just unbelievable. First Mkhitaryan, then Lukaku, and then Martial swept in a penalty to make it 4-0. It was a bit similar to what we did against West Ham and a bit similar to what we did against Swansea, where we were 1-0 up in the 80th minute and then we seal it off and we finished the game off in style with 3 goals in a rampant end to win the game 4-0. And as I said, I think this game sort of flattered United a bit in the scoreline sense, and I think in terms of Everton, on the basis of their performance, I think it was a bit hard on them because I don't think they deserve to win. Don't think they deserve to lose 4-0, but I do think United deserve to win the game, and I think the scoreline 4-0 probably does show that. But, I don't think United deserve to win the game 4-0, but either way, United beaten one of, the teams who strengthened so much and such a, probably the hardest team we've played in the Premier League so far. We beat them 4-0, so that says everything. Then we played our Carabao Cup game, third round game. Obviously, we are the current holders of the competition after winning the game against Southampton in the final in February. Manchester United beat Burton by 4-1. It was a very easy performance for Manchester United, and it was always going to be a thing where the longer the game goes on, the more Burton have a chance of getting something from it and maybe forcing it to extra time and maybe knocking United out. But it was about 4 minutes or so before Marcus Rashford made it 1-0 to Manchester United. And then from that point onwards, United were 3 up at half time. It was 4 early in the second half. It could have been 5 or 6, but in the end, Burton got a consolation goal. And actually, they're the only team to have actually scored at Old Trafford this season. So, they had a right go and they got a consolation at the end, which was probably a nice thing for their travelling fans, because overall it was a dominant Manchester United win, as you would expect. So United won 4-1 in that one, and then we sealed off a great week with a 1-0 victory away at Southampton. Now, Southampton, don't get me wrong, aren't a top 5 team or, a team in the Premier League you would say, oh, they're a really good team, but you would say they're still you know, they'll give you a bit of they'll give you a contest. You know, you have to play well against a team like Southampton to get the result, especially away at home. And we've got away from home, you know, we got a very good 1-0 victory, and you know, we showed how we beat Everton 4-0, Burton 4-1, Basel 3-0, Swansea 4-0, West Ham 4-0. How, you know, we can win with swagger. But in this game, we showed how we can win ugly and how we can scrape a 1-0 victory. And one of the things I said quite a lot after this game is the team who goes on to win the league isn't the team who win 4-0 and, you know, plays well every week. The team who goes on to win the league is the team who, when they don't play well, end up getting results, and this is exactly what United did. We didn't play well. Southampton were the better team. Southampton deserved something from the game, but United scraped a 1-0 victory. It was ugly to watch, but at the end of the day, it's 3 big points for United. Then we went on and beat CSKA Moscow with swagger, and this was a great performance. One of the most controlled away performances I've seen Manchester United, and you know, to get it in the Champions League, to win 4-1 away from home at any place is good, but to do it in the Champions League against CSKA Moscow in difficult conditions against a tricky opponent at times, Manchester United went there and we just dominated. And realistically, it should have been 5 or 6, but it finished 4-1. And just like Burton did, they scored a late goal, which does give him a little bit of a consolation, and that which probably wasn't deserved. And then we finished off the month with a 4-0 victory against Crystal Palace. I mean, what a month. You know, we beat Basel 3-0, Everton 4-0, Burton 4-1, CSK 4-1 and Palace 4-0. I mean, apart from the Southampton and the Stoke game, we scored 3 or 4 goals in every match. And again, we scored in every game. So, you know, we're looking like real threat going forward. And we, you know, Palace are doing poorly at the bottom of the league. Manchester United dispatched them. We scored again within 2 minutes, which is something we didn't see very often in the last couple of years. And United, you know, we just hit them. And yeah, again, Martial, superb performance from him. Fellaini got 2 goals, and we beat Palace 4-0 to end the month off on a high. So overall, a good month for United. A 2-2 draw at Stoke, 3-0 win against Basel, 4-0 win against Everton, 4-1 win against Burton, a 1-0 win away at Southampton, a 4-1 win against CSKA Moscow in the Champions League, and a 4-0 win at Old Trafford against Crystal Palace. Overall, it means Manchester United have scored 21 goals, conceded just 2, and have a goal difference of 19 so far this season, keeping a clean sheet in 6 of their 7 games. And Manchester United in the Premier League this season have won 6 of their 7 matches, just drawing the other one, meaning that Manchester United have taken a total of 19 points out of 21. However, they sit second in the league. Although they've got a plus 19 goal difference, City also have 19 points and have a plus 20 goal difference. So we're just behind them in a very sort of tight top Manchester at the end there. But, you know, at the end of the day, we've not played a top 6 side, but at the end of the day, you know, we're winning games like West Ham at home. I know that was in August, but we're winning games like last year, which we didn't win. So, you know, we're on real form. We're unbeaten. We're scoring goals. We're not conceding many. And yeah, you know, overall, we're second in the league, joint on points with City, with a great goal difference and a great points tally. We're top of our Champions League group. We're still in the Carabao Cup. You know, we've got a tricky October coming up. Liverpool at Anfield coming up soon. We've got Tottenham at Old Trafford as well, and then we've got Chelsea. I know that's not in October, but it's, you know, very early on in November. So we've got some big games coming up. That's when we'll see whether United are real contenders for this title. The goal of the month for me has to be Antonio Valencia versus Everton. The game of the month, result-wise, Everton. But I think performance-wise, CSKA Moscow. And I think the player of the month has to go to Anthony Martial for what was a great month for him in the time he had on. So yeah, thanks for watching this video. Hopefully I'll bring more videos out soon. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you later.